Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Uh, Today we're working on a Hustler Super Z. This big commercial job here at ya. There are no markings on the engine, so I've got to guess at parts and all that good stuff. But basically, there's no motor. There was no oil in the motor, and he took it out to go to work, and he blew it up. When it first got here, we started it and it was making a terrible clunking sound, and then it just gave up. So I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking on this video. I'm just going to film the process of how to remove the motor, and we're going to take it in the shop and pull it apart. So see you soon. Just start by taking all the guards off. These commercial machines have a lot of guards. This is a 3/4 inch wrench. You take your bolts out, put them aside, but when you're finished removing a part, it's always best if you put them back where you got them from. The next thing we have to do is take this whole yellow section and get it undone. First, we're going to take this bolt out right here. This is a clamp, so we're going to loosen that up top, and we're going to loosen it up on the carburetor, which is a pain in the butt, but you get the point. We're going to do that, and then here we have bolts. 1 bolt, 2 bolt here, and on this side we actually have 3. There's 1 missing on the other side. 1, 2, actually there's 1 missing here too. But we're going to take these bolts out. They take a 1/2 inch on both sides. So I'm going to use box wrenches here. 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on this side. I'm going to take those 4 bolts out. They're supposed to be 6. I'm going to loosen this hose clamp, and I'm going to remove this. Now this is connected by this fan, which goes to your oil cooler. So I'm not going to disconnect that. What I'm going to do is pull the seat forward, and I'm going to unbolt this, and I'm going to move this whole unit forward just to get it out of the way. And as you can see, we can just move this out of the way. You can see it better here. We're connected to the oil cooler here and here with the fan on top. And I'm not undoing all that. I don't need to work on that. We are just pulling this engine. Next, we're taking off the muffler here. It's bolted to the frame back here. You're going to need a 9/16 box wrench and a 9/16 right? Okay, I did a few things off camera. Real easy stuff. Down here, you have your choke lever and your throttle lever. There's a screw with a clamp that goes right there, and they attach here. Make sure you take pictures before you take it apart. I also went down below. I jacked it up. You didn't need to see that. I jacked it up. I went down below. I removed both belts, the drive belt and the PTO belt, or the blade engagement belt. Then I took the nut out that holds the whole thing together, pulled the PTO clutch down. Then I pulled the 4 bolts, that's all it holds is 4 bolts, out of the base of the engine. And there was no way to get down there and show you that anyway. Plus you've seen it on other videos. So basically now what I'm going to do is put this on the stand. I'm going to lift the motor. I'm going to take off the fuel line. I put some zip ties on there so I could put it up here, keep it from flowing. I'm going to lift the motor, pull it forward. I'm going to disconnect the electrical connections, and then I can take the motor out of the mower. Take that off easy peasy. I put zip ties on there so it would hold it up there. I disconnected the battery as well. Everything should be ready to go. And the reason I do it this way is because then it's easier to get at the starter to get those wires off. And this mower has one connection that connects all the wires to the motor, so that's out of the way. I believe that's a 1/2 inch. That connects the Qatari to the starter. Let me grab a 1/2 inch wrench. I brought a few extras just in case. Just in cases. Here's the 1/2 inch wrench. Now the wire's off the starter. Put the bolt back, the nut back on the bolt. Plug that. I got one wire here that just wants to give me a fucking problem. Not attached anymore, it's just through a fucking holder. Yeah, I'm upset. I'm upset because I completely rebuilt this motor. And it's not the guy's problem, it's not his fault. But it had an oil leak from day one. I put a new seal in the bottom, the main shaft seal, and the seal was bad from the fucking factory. So it leaked oil. He brought it back. I thought it was leaking oil from somewhere else. Fixed that. He took it. It started leaking worse. Figured out it was a seal. Removed the engine. Put the new seal in. Put it all back together. Changed the hydraulic fluid. Did all this work. And honestly, between you and me, I think I forgot to put oil in it, which is a bonehead move. And he took it home and blew it up. regardless of whose fault it is, I warranty my work. This is going to cost me a couple $100 easily, if it can even be rebuilt. And I'm pissed that I'm working on it again. But when you're in business, guys, or girls, if you want to stay in business, warranty your work. Nobody does on small engines, but I do. So now the engine's out completely. Warranty your work. This is the bane of my existence for this year. 2021, season's just started. It is carried over from last year. This has been the shittiest job I've had, and it's been over stupidity. It's been over a bad seal from the manufacturer, and there's nothing I can do. They won't warranty that. This guy is doing without his machine for weeks at a time, and there's nothing anybody can do. But the only way to salvage him as a customer, and to be able to salvage any future customers that may have issues, is you got to stand behind what you do. Warranty your work. Now we're going to take that motor, it's laying on the ground, and we're going to take it into the shop. We're going to put it up on the bench, and we're going to pull the heads. And I'll show you how to do that. We're going to find out exactly what happened to this beast. I have a feeling it busted a connecting rod. Hopefully it didn't score the cylinders. If it didn't, we can just get a new connecting rod, new piston, new rings, whatever it takes.